Hey BookTube! Yes, hello, welcome back to my channel. Today we're doing one of my absolute favourite videos to do, which is the best and also the worst covers from 2020. So in years past I have just done like my best covers, but I think we can acknowledge that there was some crap in the last year. The year as a whole, not just in books. So today I get to do something really fun and just be really shallow and just judge books entirely based on their covers, entirely on my own personal taste and personal preference for what I like in a book cover. And I'm going to do these alternating, so it'll go good, then bad, then good, then bad. And I will try to end on a good book cover, so that we have one more good than bad. To at least make this like a little bit like positive leaning. Again, just my own rules for this because it is entirely my own personal taste, personal opinion. But these are all specifically books which had to be published in 2020 and which I also physically own. So I won't be talking about random books that I don't own, because we'd be here forever. So saying that, I'm going to kick off with what I think is the most beautiful book published all year, maybe ever. It is of course The Betrayals by Bridget Collins. Can we just admire this beautiful, intricate, detailed, shiny cover for a moment? This is just like absolute perfection in a cover. The same motif is like carried around on the back as well, although I do hate spiders. I do have very bad arachnophobia, so I don't like to look at the back. But the spine as well is gorgeous. But wait, if I remove the dust jacket, seriously, this just can't. It's so pretty. This is so pretty. It's so beautiful. It's so perfect. I love everything about this. It just looks phenomenal, both like without the jacket and with it. So it's made to pair with Bridget Collins' other book, The Binding, which until now has been like just the most beautiful book I own. And I think these, like as a pair, definitely the most beautiful books I own, like together on a shelf. They're so beautiful. So yeah, I wanted to start off strong with this one and just have it in the background of the video the whole time. There was no way I was leaving this one till last to only have it in the video for like a few seconds. Like, no, I love it. Okay, it's time for, at least in my opinion, an ugly book, a bad book cover, a book cover that I do not like. And that is Ruthless Gods by Emily A. Duncan. I hate this cover. I will say, this is specifically the Owlcrate cover, which is black, and I don't mind this one as much. I would not have bought a physical copy of this book if Owlcrate had not released a beautiful black version. I still don't like the cover design, but I much prefer the Owlcrate version. So this is what the original looked like, and I hate it. It looks atrocious. I don't know how you can look at this and think that it's a good cover. You have sort of like this, it's going to be hard to see, so I don't know if I should keep up this image. I'll keep up this image the whole time because I think it's harder to see when it's inverse, so you might see it better here. But like this section at the bottom, I understand like the city, that's not so bad. But it's are they trees? Are they around it? It's so busy, but like not in a way that's good, not in a way that looks visually appealing. It's busy in a way that looks like if you take like a photograph of just bare trees on like a really old bad mobile phone and you try and upload it and like use that as like part of like your like photo manipulation book cover. It just looks bad. It does not look good, but it just looks ugly and messy and busy, and it just does not make for a very nice cover. I do not like this design for a book cover. When I saw it, I was genuinely like, that can't be it, because it really looks like I've gone out to my garden, taken a picture of the top of some trees, blown it up on my phone so it goes really pixelated, and then just like, I don't know, select cropped the background like just automatically, and just is bad. The inside of this book, I don't know if this is on like the regular copies, but the Owlcrate, the naked hardback of the Owlcrate version is very pretty. But again, it's because it doesn't have this weird cluster of just branches. It just looks messy, which is weird because like I'm pretty sure that Wicked Saints, the first book in this series, was on my best book covers of the year list for last year. So like, how can you get it so wrong? Okay, going back to the pretty covers, this next one is another exclusive. I think this is this Owlcrate? Whose edition is this? It's either Owlcrate or Illumicrate, I don't remember. But this is the exclusive edition of The Lives of Saints by Leigh Bardugo. Can we just like admire the beauty in this book? Like these little beautiful little like shiny spots of like foil. The character artwork is really lovely, even though I don't really like characters on books. It looks like it's a painting from the universe that this is set, and this book is meant to look like a prop from the Grishaverse universe, like from the TV show that's coming up soon. So this almost looks like if they were to do a painting of Alina in universe, this is what it might look like if she were portrayed. And again, for the Darkling on the back, I love this artwork so much. Character, don't care. Artwork, fantastic. This is really just stunning artwork, and you'll know me being a magpie, I love like this beautiful shiny eclipsed sun at the bottom. The spine as well is just, it's really stunning, and the magic does continue in this book. So I feel like even without the special edition cover, this is the standard hardback cover that you would get if you just bought this from any retailer, and I still think that this is gorgeous. So it's meant to like a prop from the universe, so you have like the title in, I think, Ravkan here on the front, and I love fictional languages, fictional like fonts and alphabets. I love them so much. I just love how cute and simple this is, and it's just so pretty and it's shiny and I love it. Okay, next is an ugly book and this was actually I think I gave this like the book award for like my ugliest cover of books that I read in 2020, and that is The Shadow Saint by Gareth Hanrahan. Now don't get me wrong, I love this book, but the cover is awful. So something about this, I don't mind the figure at the bottom, but the architecture has been like photoshopped together with like all these light effects and overlays and filters, and it makes it very difficult to see what I'm looking at. And I know, without spoiling anything, there is meant to be weird, just really weird architecture in this book, and sort of like nonsensical architecture in this book, and so I understand what they're trying to portray. I just don't think it looks good as a book cover. I hate this bit at the top. I can't work out whether I'm meant to be looking at like, is this the shape of the building or is the black like something in the foreground? I hate it. I hate it. It looks bad. I don't like the cover of this book. I hate everything about it. I think like, especially in comparison to the first book, the cover, again, for that book, I think the cover for book 1 made it onto like my favourites of last year's list. So it must just be like a pattern. Books get a great first cover and then it goes to crap. It just goes to hell. I don't know what happened here. So yeah, it's just sad that like one of my favourite books just has such a bad cover. The cover for book 1 is what drew me in and got me to read the series, because I've never heard anyone talk about, you know, I mean, if this had been the cover of book 1, I never would have picked it up, and that would have been such a shame. Okay, back to Leigh Bardugo. Another one of my favourite covers of this year was this special edition of Shadow and Bone. It's the shine. It's the shine. I'm a magpie, we know this. It's just the fact that it's beautiful and shiny and blue. Like, I see it in the viewfinder and I don't want to look away. It's very pretty. Except for this gross sticker. Why must they do this to me? I'm terrified that this is going to lift the foil. Who puts a sticker over the top of like foiling? Who does that? Get away. Anyway, yes, this is such a beautiful edition of these books. It's gorgeous. It's so blue. It's so blue. I love the artwork on it. I love that it's shiny. There's a theme going here. I have many books here to do with saints, or that have shadow or saint in the title. It's very strange. Okay, a bad one. I've said before, this next cover, I hate it. I hate this cover. Everyone else loves this cover. Everyone else put this book on like their most beautiful books of the year list. Are we looking at the same book? It's Crescent City by Sarah J Maas. Not even the sprayed edges can make up for this. This cover is so awful. I hate it. It's shiny. It has a corvid on the front. These are things I like, but I hate this cover. I hate it. I hate it so much. I hate the character, the woman, whoever she is. I hate her face. I feel like I'm being stared through, and I don't like it. It's rude. I just don't like it. I don't like the stripe of red. I don't like the offset font. I just don't like it. I can understand why some people might enjoy it if you like images of characters, if you like, I don't know, red, but I genuinely hate this cover. I think it's busy and ugly and I don't like it. I'm sorry. Okay, back onto good covers, and potentially twinning a little bit with my eyeshadow is 10 Arrows of Iron by Sam Sykes. I think this is like the only non-shiny book on my favourites list. And please ignore the fact that it looks like someone's dog has like attacked the top of this book. Just more reasons not to buy from Amazon, if I'm honest. But yes, this is one of the few books that is the exception to when I don't like character artwork on the front. I really do love the continuity across the designs. I love the coloured weapons coming in. I really like the sort of minimal design that they have. I really like it. And again, for the characters, I love the empty space, the negative space, but both in black and white that they use here. I just really like it. It's very simple. Really the only parts of the character you have drawn is just the skin, and the rest of it is just like a block colour. Even the sword, like the shirt, the corset, everything about it is just blocked in apart from the skin. And something about that, like aesthetically, visually, just as an art piece, as a picture, as opposed to a book cover, is really good. And I really like it. So yeah, this is one of the very, very, very few exceptions to book covers that have people on that I like. Normally I hate when a character is portrayed on a book cover, especially if the face is showing, especially if it's a photograph. But in this case, the artwork itself is so nice. I'm kind of making an exception. I feel like it's also because it's so interesting and not generic of a design that it just, I don't know, I just like it. It's just really pretty, and as a book cover, as a piece of artwork, like, I really like this. I really, really like this. Okay, next, the last of my least favourites for this year, and I think this might be the worst book covers this year, and I'm definitely not the only person that thinks this. It is The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes by Suzanne Collins. This, what is this? What actually is this? The weird green colour, and I know they're doing like the target motif of the original covers, and then this is meant to like look a bit more like the original covers and match with the original hardbacks. I get that, but consider those designs were also bad. Yeah, this, like, the bird, I think it's a mockingjay, and the serpent, and it just looks bad. I hate the target, I hate the rings, I hate the design of this book. I hate the colours, I just hate it. It looks ugly. It's an ugly, ugly cover. It's just so ugly. And I think a lot of it is the colour scheme. I think the green is like a huge part of why this is nasty. I don't own the original hardbacks, so I don't know what colour they would have been. I think this follows President Snow though, so I wonder why it's not just white with gold, which might have looked better. And I'm assuming one of the original trilogy is already white, so they can't reuse that colour or something? I don't really know. I haven't read this yet. But this cover is really off-putting. It's nasty. Like, look at it. Look at the state of it. Like, what is this? It looks like the ending to Looney Tunes. I don't like this. I realise I'm very picky, but like, I don't care. It's ugly. No one's gonna argue with me though, because like, we all know it's ugly, right? And the last cover that I want to mention is, again, a good one, so we can end on a positive note. So here is another cover I like, the last cover that I'm going to mention, and it is The Girl in the Stars by Mark Lawrence. So again, I feel like this isn't, I'm not as in love with this one as I am some of these other covers. However, I really do love the aesthetic of this cover. It makes me feel wintry, it makes me feel Christmassy, and I think it's because it's so much black, but like it's so shiny and like tasteful with like the gold and like the shine, because you can't see them, it's just black on black, but it's shiny black, so like these stars glint when you look at them from a certain angle, and I love that. It's pretty, it's really nice. Again, I don't always like character artwork, but the face is very hidden in shadow, and the actual detailing on the character themselves, like the fur, is really, really nice actually. Yeah, so ultimately this is just a very nice, pretty, wintry, almost Christmassy feeling cover to me, and because this is set, I think, out on the ice, it follows a girl from the ice tribes in this universe. It's definitely a very appropriate feeling for me. It reminds me of like wintertime, and I really like this colour scheme because it's just pretty. Okay, those were both my best and worst covers of 2020. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this. Hopefully you are maybe looking at the screen and maybe don't have too many grabby hands for the nice covers here. Let me know if you agree. Do you share my taste? Like, you have to tell me if you hate one of the ones that I love or you love one of the ones that I hate. I know so many people like, is it House of Earth and Blood? Whatever. I don't. I think it's ugly. I know people like that one already, but like, does somebody out here really stand the design for like the new Hunger Games book? You can't. I mean, tell me if you do. I will be surprised if any of you exist. Aside from those people who like need the covers to match the originals, is there any other reason? So yeah, I think that's it from me. So hopefully you're all reading something good, and maybe I will see you guys in the next video. Bye!